Page 58. You should see a whole bunch of rectangles there. You guys see them?
Yep.
If I were to ask you to find the area of rectangle number 7, what would you say the area of rectangle number 7 is? 12, because each one of those little squares is 1 unit. So far, so good? All right. While I take attendance, here's what I want you guys to do. To the best of your ability, and I don't expect perfection, I want you to look at all of the rectangles on this page. There's 100 of them there. I want you to come up with a guess for the average area of the rectangles. Before I set you loose, listen to this, okay? First of all, how would you find the average area? If we were going to do this by hand, how do you find the average of something? Add them all up and divide by however many there are. So you'd have to count every single tiny little square on here, and then we divide by what? 100, because there's 100 rectangles on the page. We're not doing that, by the way. But that's how we would do it if we were going to do this by hand. Have you guys ever been to a doctor's office, dentist's office, baby shower, wedding shower? There's like a big jar filled with something. They're like, guess how many are in here? And whoever's the closest wins. Some people are familiar with that, some people not so much. Same big idea here. So I want you to look at this page, come up with your best guess for what the average area is. And I'll check back in with you guys as soon as I get attendance taken, okay? So talk to me about the numbers that you came up with. Again, these are best guesses. What do you think is a reasonable guess for the average area? Anything?
3.5.
3.5. Does anybody have a different guess? Higher or lower? 4. Any other guesses? 5. 7. I feel like we have some decent guesses. Your guess that you came up with, you should write down on this line. You don't need to write all of them down. I only want you to write your guesses down here. And I apologize if I don't think I was clear about that at the beginning. I'm just writing down kind of everybody's guesses right here. Whatever your guess was, write it down. All right. We are going to use sampling to try to estimate what the actual average area is. We're not going to calculate it by hand for the whole group. We're going to use a sample. What do you guys remember about sampling?
It's a portion that represents a big group.
Yes, it's a portion, a small piece that should be representative of the big group. So what I want you guys to do, back on that page that had all the rectangles on it, I want you to look at it again. If you can have your book open side by side, that'd be great. Yes. How does what?
How are these rectangles?
I'll come and show you. All right. So to the best of your ability, I want you to select 5 rectangles. You're going to circle them on this page that in your judgment are representative of all the rectangles on that page. You're only going to pick out 5, but you want them to be representative of the group. Pick out 5 and circle them. Start off just by picking out your rectangles and circling them. Which ones do you think are representative of the whole group? And after you have, you need a pencil. After you have your 5 rectangles picked out, do you see how every rectangle has a little number next to it? I want you to write the little number that's next to the rectangle right here on page 59.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So like how I said, look at rectangle number 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not putting the area down, not how many little squares there are. Just write down the number of the rectangle so that we could go find it again if we wanted to.
6 and 7.
All right.
No.
You guys good so far?
Yes.
In the space down below that, so right down here, you're going to put how big those rectangles are. So for example, if you picked rectangle number 7, it has 12 little squares in it, and so you'd put the 12 down here. I want you to do that for the 5 rectangles that you picked out. We're doing all right so far with what I want you to do? No? If you've got any questions, please ask them now, because we're going to repeat this process a couple times. Okay, so I want you to pick out 5 rectangles. Any 5 you want.
And it can be horizontal or vertical.
Yep, doesn't matter. You want to pick out 5 rectangles that you feel are representative of the whole group. Because remember, samples are always supposed to be representative of the population.
How many, you said how many you pick?
You're going to pick 5.
And to get the area, you count how many boxes.
Yep, how many little squares there are inside it. Yep. All right, you guys ready for the next piece?
Yes.
Cool. Now that you have the area of each of the 5 rectangles, I want you to calculate the average area of those 5. So you're only going to add the bottom numbers. And then how many rectangles did I have you pick out? So you're going to divide it by 5. Awesome. I'm going to bring you a red sticker. After you have your average, you're going to write it on this little red circle dot sticker. And you're going to go put it where it belongs on the judgment sample poster. Do you guys see that over on the board? You're going to put it on the judgment sample poster. If somebody already has a dot where yours should go, put yours directly above theirs. Do not cover up anybody else's circle, not even a little bit. We want this to go vertical. We want it to go higher as more people have similar numbers. So I'm going to bring everybody a red dot. Red dot. So you're going to write your average on the dot, and then you're going to go put it on the poster that says judgment sample. Okay, there's yours. You're welcome. So there's yours. You're very welcome. And then Nasiba, and Audra, and Owen already got yours. There you go. You're welcome. I am like right in the way. There you go, ma'am.
Do we round or no?
Leave it at 8.6. That'd be fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, Niles.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. AB.
I write the number.
Yep, you write the number on your dot, and then you'll go put it on the one that says judgment sample. Yep, good job.
Oh no, I got stuck to the tape.
That's okay. You want me to help?
Yes, please.
Okay. There you go. You're welcome. That's the one good thing that non-stick nails are good for. Is like they're thinner, so I can get
I
underneath
know.
stuff. I like having my nails done though. Awesome. All right. So that process that we just did where you picked out 5 rectangles, you found the area of each, and then you found the average, we're going to do that process again. However, instead of you picking out the rectangles that you feel were most representative, we're going to do a simple random sample. I'm going to use a random number generator, and I'm going to give you 5 numbers. You're going to write that down here on number 3. The 5 random numbers that I give you, you're going to put right here. And then after I tell you those 5 numbers, you'll go find the rectangles on page 58. You'll count how many little squares. You're going to write it down below. You'll find the average, okay? I'm going to give you a green sticker, and after you have the average of that, you'll write it on your green sticker, and you're going to put it on the sample or on the poster that says random sample n equals 5. Once I get all the way around the room with that, we're going to do it one more time on question 4, where I give you 10 rectangles, all right? This is going to keep me busy for a minute around the room, so I want to make sure that everybody understands the directions before I start doing it. Are we good so far?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. If you're all done with all your averages, you've come and put your sticker up. I'm sorry. We're going to recreate these dot plots in your book on page 60. So for the judgment sample dot plot, we have 2 dots on the 3. On the 6, we actually have 6 dots. We have 2 on the 7, 1 on the 8, 1 on the 9, 1 on the 10, 2 on the 11, a 16, and a 17. So I want you to recreate that dot plot. Sorry, it's up on the board. I put it up on the board at the same time.
Can I use the restroom?
Yes, give me a moment. And we're going to write down that n is 17. Nah, I don't care. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, sorry. Instead of 17, my apologies. We're going to put 5. My bad. I'm sorry. We're going to put 5 here. Dante, I haven't forgotten about you, dear. I'm going to get that passed. Do you have your student ID with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Good.
You really got hit by a truck? That's so sad.
All right. When you're done with that one, we're going to do the first random sample one. Are you guys okay if I take what's on the board down?
No.
Okay. You can look at the dot plot too that's over on the sideboard. It's the exact same information. We're just trying to get it recorded in your book.
We gotta really put the dots on there.
Mm-hmm. You got to really put the dots on there. You don't need to write the numbers, but yes, I want you to put the dots on there. All right. Are you guys okay if we put the next one up? All right. So the next one was green. Our N was 5. I'm on the next one. You're welcome to look over here. It's just this dot plot recreated. So on the 3, there's 2 dots. For the 6, there's 6 dots. For the 7, there's 2 dots. For the 8, there's 1. 9 and 10, there's also 1. There's 2 dots at 11. And then there's a 16 and a 17. All right, that's all of them over there. For our random sample, there's 1 on the 3. There's 4 on the 4. There's 1 on the 5. There's 2 at 7. And there's 1 on the 8. There's 3 on the 9. 2 on the 10. 1 on the 11. And 2 on the 12.
Are you rounding?
Yeah, because we can't really do decimals on a dot plot. I'm putting them about where they go so that we can kind of see the distribution here.
So are you rounding about the nearest 10?
I'm rounding to the whole number. Yep. So if it starts with an 11 at all, I'm just keeping it with the 11s. If it starts with a 12, I'm keeping it with the 12s.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I'm treating this number line, instead of trying to get it exact, I'm treating them like buckets. So if it's in between the 1 and the 2, I'm putting it right here. If it's anywhere in between, like the 6 and the 7, I'm putting it right in between. And then they just stack vertically from there. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes.
The one before was 5. Oh, never mind.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. I'll have the next one ready to go in a minute. You guys are doing way better with these than my last class as far as where to put your stickers. Alrighty, are you guys done with this one or close to it?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to rush anybody. All right, you ready to do the last one? We're going to do the last one. Since it's blue dots, I'm going to have blue up on the screen. Our n this time, how big was our sample size? 10. So we're going to put 10 where it says n. There is 1 on the 4, 2 on the 5, 3 for 6 and 7, 2 for 8, 3 for 9, and 3 for 10. Oops, that dot went too high. There we go. We good? All right. We're going to calculate some statistics about all of these. All right? That X bar means the sample average, or the sample mean. I'm going to calculate that using Google Sheets for us so that I can use the decimal values. What I want you guys to do is for each of these 3 graphs, I want you to circle the one that you think is the minimum and the maximum. What's the smallest point? What's the biggest point? And the median here is 7.5. This lowercase s, this is the sample standard deviation. The sample standard deviation. Make sure that you have these numbers down for this one. I'm going to calculate X bar and S using Google Sheets for us. All right, Dante, you're going to have to get these numbers from somebody else, dear.
All right.
I'm going to fill in the minimum, the maximum, and the median for our green graph. The minimum was 3.8. The maximum was 12.2. And the median is 8.2. Hold on, I'll bring that right back up. $7.2 was the median on our judgment sample. 3.2 was the minimum. And 17.6 was the maximum. We're going to finish this activity tomorrow. We're going to talk about these different statistics, and I will have the sample standard deviation and the sample mean for you tomorrow for you to fill in so that we can finish and analyze this. If there's any screen that you still need me to put up, please let me know so that yours looks just like mine when we start here on tomorrow. Something else I need to know. Please raise your hand if you have any kind of food allergy or if there's any kind of food that you are not allowed to handle. Because we have an activity coming up that involves some food, and I want to make sure that nobody has an allergic reaction in here.